In our first story, President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has directed law enforcement agencies to intensify efforts to restore order and ensure that all perpetrators of mob justice on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes are brought to justice. Presidential Press Secretary Kate Maulidi says the president has further condemned the unfortunate incidents in the Lower Shire where 7 people have lost their lives following unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes. She said the Malawi leader has described the killings as deeply unfortunate and unacceptable in this modern era. The president has further advised all Malawians to desist from spreading false rumors and taking the law into their own hands. Meanwhile, regulator Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA, has issued a warning to broadcasters in the country to desist from disseminating unverified information that can incite violence and public disorder. Director General for MACRA, Mayami Nkoloma, issued the warning following incidents involving alleged missing private parts reported in Chikwawa and Nsanje districts. We have a joint report by Ruth Chinangwa and Rashida Matandika.
In a statement, Nkoloma said while broadcasters have the right to inform the public on issues of national interest, they also have a responsibility to ensure that the information they disseminate is accurate, balanced and verified before publication or broadcast. Nkoloma further said presenting rumors as facts has the potential to incite communities to attack innocent people. Limpani Sabaro is the public relations officer for MACRA.
The current issue in general, licensees, broadcasters have got an obligation to only broadcast news that is verified. They have a responsibility to ensure they only broadcast news that is verified. So where they do not follow that requirement, then we have a problem. Just to remind the broadcasters of their obligations to ensure they don't promote news that is likely to incite violence. At the same time, we also want to appeal to the public not to take the law into their own hands in reaction to some media reports that may not even be verified.
Meanwhile, the number of people arrested for allegedly attacking others on suspicion that they steal and cause the disappearance of people's private parts has reached 55. According to Malawi Police Service spokesperson Lyle Chintembo, investigations are still underway to identify other individuals who took part in the acts that resulted in the killing of 7 people and the injury of 2 others in the districts of Nsanje and Chikwawa following the rumors. More than 20 of the suspects are being held at Chichiri prison, where they are awaiting court judgment, and others still in police custody. Ruth Chinangwa, MBC News, Blantyre.
The Malawi Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Anabil Ndalimanja, says Malawians need to realize the importance of by-elections as they provide opportunity for people to choose their representatives at Parliament and in local councils. Justice Ndalimanja said this in Lilongwe when she visited voter registration centers. From Lilongwe, Beatrice Mwape reports.
During the visit at Bwaira, Chilambula, Bambino, Bwemba primary schools, and Maula prison, Justice Mtalimanja noted that although the centers were opened in good time, turnout was low. She acknowledged the existing challenge during by-elections but expressed optimism that there will be a change as the process continues. Mtalimanja says oftentimes people deem by-elections as less important comparing to general election, but has stressed the value it has in representation and the country's development. She has since encouraged people to participate in all electoral processes, adding MEC will intensify voter education to raise awareness on the importance of by-election.
We continue with our civic and voter education efforts and initiatives to ensure that we're reaching out to the electorate with the necessary voter education information. But also we want to emphasize that by-elections are as important as general elections. I think there's a general feeling out there that by-elections are not that important and people do not readily participate, and we want to encourage people to come forward and to deem by-elections as an important process as a general election, because at the end of the day it's still about representation in parliament as well as their local government.
In her remarks after registering, village head Kamtedza said many people do not participate in by-elections, citing tiring processes. She has since expressed her commitment to encourage people in her area to register and participate in the voting process.
I will encourage my subjects to take part in the voter registration process and vote. The election will help us choose a person who will represent us.
MEG has launched the voter registration process, which will run from 12 to 18 May. According to the electoral body, people above 18 years old and those who will turn 18 by 30th June are encouraged to register. Malawi is expected to hold by-elections in Lilongwe Bwaila constituency, Machinga Mikoko constituency, Balaka Mlunguzi constituency, Uliwa ward in Karonga South constituency, and Kanjuli ward in Machinga Central East constituency. Beatrice Mwabe, MBC News, Lilongwe.
World Vision Malawi has handed over infrastructure projects worth 7 billion kwacha for the 2025 financial year to the government. The organization's board chairperson Alfred Kaponda said World Vision remains committed to supporting children and vulnerable communities in line with Malawi 2063. Kaponda made the remarks in Lilongwe during the handover ceremony of the projects. More in this report by Madalitso Mhango.
World Vision Malawi has implemented construction projects across 16 districts in hard-to-reach communities covering water, sanitation, education, and health, among other sectors. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Jabi Mhango, said the projects will help improve the well-being of communities by providing access to clean water, as well as improving access to education and health services in underdeserved areas across the country.
The infrastructure that has been given to government today is indeed complementing government efforts in the provision of various social services to its people. The infrastructure that we have received today includes, health posts, sanitation facilities, water facilities, school blocks, all of them intended to improve the livelihood of our people. And therefore, as government, we are significantly, excited with this important, donation from the World Vision.
World Vision Malawi board chairperson Alfred Kaponda said the organization is working to create a conducive environment for children and vulnerable households in the country. Kaponda added that World Vision remains committed to supporting government in achieving its development agenda and Malawi 2063 goals.
We want every child to live the life to its fullest, and that is also the aspiration of the Malawi government's 23 agenda, which has got a similar aspiration. So we work together to partner with the government to ensure that we ramp up what we are doing. It's a journey that we have done since 1982, and over the period of time we have spent over 88 billion kwacha, and this has also helped to change the lives of over 3 million people. So we'll continue to do that.
The projects handed over to government include boreholes, solar-powered water systems, school blocks, early childhood development centers, and health posts, among others. More than 150,000 people across 16 districts in the country are expected to benefit from the projects. Madalitso Mhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs says it will push for increased funding towards early childhood development programs, saying they are a critical solution in the fight against child marriages in the country. Chairperson of the committee, Savio Kafuafa, made the remarks at Parliament in Lilongwe when officials from the Ministry of Gender appeared before the committee to present the status of child marriages in the country. Olive Perry reports.
Child marriage in Malawi remains one of the serious challenges affecting the rights and opportunities of girls. A report from the Ministry of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare indicates that 32% of women aged between 20 and 24 in Malawi were married before turning 18. During an interface meeting with the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs, Director of Child Affairs in the Ministry of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Justin Hamera, said child marriage prevalence has declined from 52% in 2010 to the current 32%, although the rate remains high. Hamera said the ministry is working to reduce child marriage prevalence to 20% by 2030 in order to address the issue, which continues to affect the rights and opportunities of girls. He emphasized that child marriage remains a major development challenge that requires collective action and increased funding, estimated at 14 billion kwacha annually, to end the practice.
In 2018, we developed a strategy on ending child marriage, and we reviewed it and developed another which has been established in 2024. This strategy is calling an average of 14 to 26 billion annually, because it's not only the resources to be used by Ministry of Gender. It will need resources for NRB, it will need for registration of children, it will need resources, Ministry of Education, to ensure that we keep children in schools, but at the same time we need some resources so that our frontline officers, like the child protection workers, are in every community.
In his remarks, Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs, Savio Kafuafa, said child marriage prevalence remains alarming, with nearly 1 in 3 girls still affected. Kafuafa said the committee will ensure Parliament allocates more funding towards early childhood development, saying investment in such programs could help keep children in school and reduce poverty, which often pushes young girls into early marriages.
First and foremost, the early childhood development programs should receive adequate funding, because if we don't address the early childhood development, that's why you see a lot of dropouts, and then later on a lot of childhood poverty and all these other things which are happening.
Malawi is said to rank 4th in Africa for child marriage prevalence. Olive Pidi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Remember, you're watching MBC News. A reminder of our top stories this morning. President Mutharika describes the killing of people in the Lower Shiri on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts as deeply unfortunate and unacceptable in this modern era. MEC chairperson urges Malawians to realize the importance of by-elections as they provide opportunity for people to choose leaders of their choice. BIM Trust adopts Bwaila District Hospital to improve sanitation issues.
Something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even arrives. You'll hear it before you see it. You'll feel it before you know it. This isn't just another launch. It's the beginning of advanced broadcasts. Unveiling soon on NBC. Stay ready.
Welcome back. Moving on, Beautify Malawi, BIM Trust has adopted Bwaila District Hospital to tackle sanitation crisis, signaling a renewed commitment to improving service delivery through enhanced hygiene standards in public health facilities. BIM representative Fani Kachari disclosed this after conducting a high-level inspection of the hospital. The development comes just 2 months after the trust launched its strategic plan for 2026 to 2030. Moim Tumodzi reports.
A recent visit by the Beautify Malawi Beam Trust on Tuesday at Baida District Hospital in Lilongwe has revealed a critical sanitation crisis. Infrastructure decay, lack of usable bathrooms and blocked toilets has forced patients and guardians to use basins for bathing and relieving themselves within the hospital premises. This sanitation breakdown poses a significant risk to the 3 million people served by the hospital. In her reaction, BIM representative Fane Kachale said it was the desire of the First Lady and founder of the trust, Professor Gertrude Mutharika, that hospitals must be sanctuaries of healing rather than environments where patients and guardians risk contracting further diseases due to poor hygiene.
We are working with Baida on quality improvement. There is a star rating criteria that the Ministry of Health is doing, and we were able to learn that Baida in 2023, when they were assessed, they were at 1-star level. And in 2025, they were still at the 1-star level. And it's because when the assessors come, the facility is not meeting the indicators that they are supposed to fulfill in terms of, like, there are some policy documents which are not available. The equipment that I talked about is also not adequate. It makes them not achieve the highest star. The highest star is 5, and they are still at 1. But as a hospital, they want at least to move to 3-star, of course, on the way to the 5-star. So we are going to work with them. They have made their work plan, and together with Baida Hospital, as Beautify Malawi, we will assist them to help each other to mobilize resources. And I hope that maybe even the public well-wishers who are hearing, Baida has got huge problems. And if we sort these problems, especially the plumbing problems, they would be able to move to the star level 3 that they want. Because we know that the First Lady, who is our patron for Beautify Malawi, she is so particular on sanitation. She wants the Malawi to be clean, beautiful Malawi, and it can only be clean if we take care of these facilities.
On his part, Chairperson of Sanitation and Hygiene Task Force for Baida Hospital, Collins Moyo, said he was delighted that BIM has adopted the hospital and was hopeful that the partnership will improve provision of quality health care to the patients.
We are so glad as Baida to Madam Gertrude Mutharika for choosing Baida to be one of the facilities that Beautify Malawi is going to support. We do appreciate and thank so much to the Madam President for the support that has been promised to be provided to us, which has the capacity to improve our service delivery as well as sanitation.
Through the partnership, BIM will rehabilitate the facilities and provide the necessary support to help the hospital achieve its intended star rating for health and safety. Baida joins other hospitals adopted under this nationwide sanitation drive like Balaga District Hospital, Rumpi District Hospital, Cholo District Hospital, and Mzuzu Urban Health Center. Through these adoptions, BIM Trust aims to restore the dignity and safety to Malawi's public health care system. Baida currently acts as the primary referral hub for 86 health centers, creating an immense amount of pressure on its struggling infrastructure. Maim Tumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Some community leaders in Mzuzu City have affirmed their commitment to close all drinking joints, popularly known as shabins, which are operated by young people in some of the city's townships. This development comes after noting that the shabins are contributing to prostitution, criminal activities, and mental health issues among the teenagers in the city. Zolo West Councillor Hiweti Mkandawire said he is collaborating with block leaders to safeguard the future of the young people. Simeon Msisia has filed this report read by Meglina Chirwa.
According to Malawi Constitution, young people below the age of 18 are not supposed to sell or consume alcoholic beverages. However, block leaders at Zolo and other surrounding townships in Mzuzu have noted that some shabins in their areas are operated by young people below the age of 18. One of the block leaders, Edward Tembo, says this is fueling prostitution, criminal activities, and addiction, putting their lives at risk of contracting STDs and developing mental health problems.
Mashabini The people who open these shabins lack proper awareness on the bad effects which these shabins bring to our area.
Zolozolo West Councillor Hiwet Mkandawire said closing these shabins will enhance productivity among teenagers, leading to better future for the nation.
We have agreed with local leaders and the police community and the other stakeholders like St. John of God and OC for Zolozolo West and DYO, Save Generation, which is an organization in our society. We sat down and we have decided that we should close all shabin within 3 weeks. And with this period of 3 weeks, we'll use our bylaws that they should be opening their shabin 4 p.m. and close 9 p.m.
One of the concerned mothers said her son has developed mental health issues due to excessive beer drinking.
The mental health problem is really affecting our children, and this is caused by unregulated shabins in our area. I have a son with similar problem since 2021 because of excess drinking in the shabins.
A mental health expert, Dr. Chelsea Masolani, says when exposed to alcohol and other drugs like cannabis, teenagers are more prone to mental health problems and other health complications than adults.
Like any other problem, young people are more prone to every problem if they expose themselves to a risk factor. The reason is because their bodies are not yet resilient enough to outstand those problems.
Mzuzu City Council Public Relations Officer McDonald Gondwe said operating beer halls in the city requires proper procedures.
Shabins are not acceptable in the city unless they come to the city and get a permit on the same. So basically what we do is that we use what we call the liquor bylaws.
To attain Malawi 2063 aspirations, Malawi needs productive future leaders.
Finally, in sports, the newly elected Southern Region Pool Committee has intensified touring of all the clubs across the region to induct them with the new rules of the game to be used in all the competitions. The committee's chairperson, Roderick Mindres, says the committee will introduce a new league and they will tour all the clubs to familiarize with the new rules. He explains.
Yeah, actually, we have quite a number of registered clubs here at Southern Region, and we are visiting all of them. So we'll make sure that we visit each and every club, and so that we can identify new talents, so that we can identify new players and share problems that they are facing with us, so that we can change and put the sport on the map. Why we are like traveling a lot, moving around and identifying clubs, is that we want to know how many clubs we have here at Southern Region, so that we can be hosting tournaments. That is already in the plan, and we also have to have a league, of which I can't remember the last time Southern Region had a league here, and with that we can be able to identify a new talent and work with.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika describes the killing of people in the Lower Shiri on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts as deeply unfortunate and unacceptable in this modern era. MEC chairperson urges Malawians to realize the importance of by-elections as they provide opportunity for people to choose leaders of their choice. Beam Trust adopts Bwaila District Hospital to improve sanitation issues. For live news updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Romeo Omari, and from all of us here is thanks for watching and good morning.
Something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even